Ladies and gentlemen, there's a very good chance that Dennis Schröder could be signing with the Boston Celtics. Of course, before I get into the video, if you guys could leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on post notifications. I am trying to hit 10,000 subscribers on the channel by the end of the year, and your subscription would be greatly appreciated. Let's get into the video. Coming in a free agency, we had no idea where Dennis Schröder was going to sign. We thought he was going to sign in Chicago or even LA, but both of those deals fell through as LA got Russell Westbrook and the Chicago Bulls got Lonzo Ball. Well, there's a report coming out right now that Dennis Schröder is talking with the Boston Celtics, and there is a good chance that he could be signing with them. And to be completely honest, I think this is a great move, because if he went to LA or Chicago, I was talking about Dennis Schröder, he wasn't going to start. Like, that's just a fact. He's not going to start. And there's no way on earth I'm paying someone that is not a starter 4 years, $84 million, like minimum. However, though, Dennis Schröder does fit with the Celtics. I mean, they do have a generally young team in Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Robert Williams. Those can be some really good players, but there is a small problem that Schröder's going to have to realize that he can't get the money he wants, because unfortunately, the mid-level tax exception, whatever, he can only get paid $9.5 million, which if you watch the Los Angeles Lakers versus Phoenix Suns series, you can see that Dennis Schröder is definitely worth $9 million, but you are not worth $30+ million. Like, you're just not. Now, it's been long enough for Dennis Schröder to not get the deal that he's clearly not going to be getting, and there's no other team really in the league besides the Celtics, maybe a couple exceptions, that don't have a good starting point guard. So if you ask me, I think Dennis Schröder needs to take this deal, because you got to remember, the Boston Celtics are still a playoff contender. They're always in it for the Eastern Conference somewhat. Even if they're having an off year, they're always doing well. So the fact that Dennis Schröder has an opportunity to play on that team, play with the likes of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Robert Williams, you have an amazing chance. And I could be forgetting some players. I'm sorry, my memory's not that sharp right now, but I really do believe with every bone in my body that this is the best move for Dennis Schröder. The fact that he can go to Boston, and even if he doesn't see a long-term thing with them, he could stay for 2 seasons or 3 seasons, and what he could do is he could essentially build like his portfolio, I guess. If he puts up a 25+ points per game season, then teams are gonna notice that and they'd be like, oh wait, we should have signed him. You know, Dennis Schröder would have been a good move. He was definitely worth that money. But right now, after the playoff run you just had, you should have accepted that 4 years, $84 million, which is not bad. And the fact that you're being selfish and you weren't, if you wanted 4 years, $120 million, which by the way, I did say in the video that if that Dennis Schröder got away with this was highway robbery. Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Schröder is about to get away with highway robbery, and we're allowing this to happen. If you haven't checked out that video and you want to watch for some reason, I'll put it in the link in the description below, or I'll put a card right here. But anyways, with that being said, the thing is, I think Dennis Schröder kind of had an idea that he thought he was going to play really well in the playoffs, that he would get this big ass extension by stepping up in the playoffs. But the only problem is you somehow managed to get a 4-year, $84 million deal, like, taken away. You're not getting that back, my guy. Like, they don't have that $21 million anymore. You lost out on an opportunity. I will say though, with the Lakers, hindsight is 2020, and I feel like this was the best move, because this is how they built their quote-unquote super team. I'm not even gonna get into that argument right now, but essentially, I think Dennis Schröder would be a really good fit on the Celtics. Now, I don't know how true this source is that he's gonna sign with them. I know they've been engaging. I know they've been discussing like if he's gonna sign or not. I know they've been discussing trades and contracts and all that stuff. But here's the honest thing, Dennis Schröder. Obviously, I'm not talking straight to him, but if he does decide that, you know what, I'm not getting this big deal that I want, I'm just saying screw it, and I'll play for $9 million. That is the smartest thing you can do, because you're lucky you're not going to like the Magic or the Cavs. I'm sorry, Magic or Cavs fans, and you're just gonna get paid a lot of money, but you're not gonna do anything, and nobody's gonna care, because you're playing for a shitty city like Orlando. Again, sorry Cleveland or Orlando, but the thing is though, that I think Dennis Schröder needs this opportunity, and I think that he should be willing to take whatever they're gonna pay him, because at this point it's almost at a rate like, it's almost like the Ben Simmons situation, except it's not the team overpricing you, it's you're overpricing yourself, and that is never a good look. That is never a good sign when a player overprices himself, especially when you didn't play. Like, at least Ben Simmons, they made the Eastern, semifinals. He's a good player at the end of the day. He had a terrible performance, but at least he knows, like, okay, I know what I'm worth. But for you not being able to even step up when Anthony Davis went down, and you played, you dropped, like, what was it, 0 points in game 5, and in game 6 you barely scored. Like, you couldn't have actually thought you were going to get a contract, no? Now, if Dennis Schröder, however, does just realize he's not going to get the contract he wants, to take the $9 million, and I honestly do believe that Boston will be a very scary team this year. Another thing is, a lot of teams have been improving, and I don't think that Dennis Schröder is going to be the difference between the Boston Celtics winning the finals or being a second round exit. And I definitely do believe that he'll be a good point guard that will definitely help the Celtics out. Now, like most of these free agency situations, the ball is in Dennis Schroeder's court. If he decides that he's going to essentially take this small deal that is obviously not what he wanted, and maybe he thinks he's not worth it, then the Boston Celtics will be a good team. Schroeder's going to have a contract and it'll be off the market. But if Dennis Schroeder doesn't even engage with them and he just says, nope, I'm worth a lot more, I don't even know if this man will be on an NBA team. Like the Lakers can't offer him, the Chicago Bulls can't offer him. Like there's not that many teams that can offer you, or simply that won't offer you. Like what you're asking for is ridiculous. So if Dennis Schroeder honestly signs with the Boston Celtics, I think it'll be really good for him. And obviously I will be there reporting it. And if you guys did enjoy this video, you guys should leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, tell and post notifications. I want to thank you guys so much for 2,200 subscribers we've been growing lately. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Take care, y'all. Peace.